that saying to continue to say to administrators is something that when we set up board objectives years ago, the board said we want to, in your case you said kind of quarterly report on that. That board said we want to hear that language spoken back to us through reports like this evening. We want to see that connectivity between our goals and the language that you're giving back to us from the administration. So we will concentrate that on that, and we will give status reports on those things that really essentially turned out to be sort of our goals as well.
And then I think for us as a board, that might be a good work session topic, is that we have to do a quarterly work session around it where we can have a lot more dialogue and some sit down and concentrated time on it that keep remembering.
So I had a question that may turn into a motion, maybe 2 or 3. We have a topic that came up in August and September that we kind of left open-ended. We actually made a motion in September to create a policy around dual enrollment. But then I think we kind of followed back around and left that back in the administration's lap. So that motion or revise it, right? And in conjunction with that, I think there's more study needed, and I guess I will go ahead and move that we create a subcommittee or committee to get some more information in conjunction with the administration and the concerned parents that are involved. We bring back a report and
I was trying to remember back and give you for the actual motion that we made at that time. I thought it ended up being a motion just to do the tuition piece.
That was my understanding.
But not to actually, because we do have a policy on dual enrollment, but it sounded like with all the discussions that we were having, that was starting to sound more like ARs surrounding the policy. And so we then made a motion to do the tuition piece in answer to the question, and then
my memory.
I reviewed the minutes today, but I didn't bring a copy with me.
then that's why I'm looking to everybody else to remind me.
That's what I was thinking that we had said. Policy. So, but in any case, I think there's an action there that I may just take upon myself as a concerned citizen to work with the administration and the parents and get some more background here to resolve. I think there's an open but it's not quite resolved in the way it should be.
As a point of clarity, just so I know, and I have a correct understanding because I wasn't at the September board meeting, this was brought to the board because we do have a policy that's very clear. But I requested the high school administration bring this issue to the board because the policy has permissive language. The policy says may. A lot of times policies say may or shall. This policy says the board may. Then the district may, as I recall. And so what Sylvia was attempting to do was say, this is how we have interpreted that language. And my understanding after coming back to the district was the board had decided that that would be allowed as long as it was tuition. I've acted on that as the board's directive. But I understood that correctly.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, just so I'm a point of clarity from my own understanding.
Okay, so that's probably clear and correct. I'll just say that more information and questions continue to come my way. So I will, outside of board meeting, work just
Good.
as a
Be glad to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, well, and I think it's a conversation that everyone just needs to be having what's going to happen too. And
like charter schools and rules apply to online schools, and the rules apply to homeschooling and sports, extracurriculars. I propose that we create, it wasn't a motion, but it's part of the matrix, so we can use it as a communication tool. So that might be perhaps you're getting at, so that we could acknowledge that it's a complex topic and we have a better way to communicate it to ourselves.
My apologies, I really thought you were saying before, it's a good idea. We just haven't done it yet, so we'll work on that. And that will go to the minutes of all of because those are all very different situations. There are different funding situations, there are different legal requirements for each.
So another issue, perhaps for future meetings, we've kind of brought up the discussion of operating agreements, and I don't know where we need to go with that in general, but there's a specific issue that came up during the month as far as communication from a parent that went to the entire board, and yet, so then as an individual board member, I want to help this person, but if 7 of us respond with slight variations in answers trying to help this person, we may get into some trouble. So there may be some need to address an operating agreement type structure there.
And also, just a quick reminder on that kind of an issue, which we talked about a little bit at the board retreat this summer, is when a situation like that comes out, you're right, if all 7 of us respond back, even if we're giving the same message, you can have a slight nuance difference, and so it can become somewhat convoluted sometimes. So as both a member and a chairman, in the past, a response could be as simple as, I received your email, thank you for the information, I will be giving this to our superintendent and chair. That's all. And then the communication from the board back to the community needs to come through the chair. So, but you're right, it's a conversation that we do need to keep having. In the operating agreement, we talked about that in the past meeting and have come to a head nodding understanding that we want to have that conversation, but we haven't gotten on the agenda or a work session yet. So we do need to do that. My question would be again to you guys: do you want it on an agenda topic for a board meeting, or do you want it for a work session with more conversation? And so that which you got that. Whatever your preference would be to make the motion is fantastic. So
I guess I would say that my opinion would be to have a work session for some plenty of conversation, and even though this thing came up and feeling a little bit like in need of some moral guidance, I don't think it's very in terms of, because of all the other more urgent things that we have to work on with the superintendent and such, but it does need to be addressed. So do I make a motion?
if it's going to be for a work session, I don't think we need one, but I have this in the notes that we are going to be needing work session in the near future, because there's a few things now that come up, I think, that we'll get a question on the books. So sometimes if you want to an email from me, checking with everybody's availability.
My only comment would be, though, when we do get questions and we do respond in the way that we are being asked to respond, it might be a good idea for us to get a response from the chair or from the superintendent's office that, yes, this has been handled, this person has been heard, and movement on his or her issues have been done. So just so that we feel so something's happened, and we can feel like we can go on with what our job is.
I'm hesitant to talk too much about individual cases. I would like to say, the board has adopted, through its policy, a complaint procedure. We don't make elected decisions about the policy. We do exactly what that policy requires. It may come as a surprise to you that sometimes people don't want to follow your policy. They want to go right to the boss. They want to start with the boss. When they start with the boss says to them, there is a procedure for you to follow, and you need to go and talk to this person next. Sometimes people don't like that response from the superintendent, so they go to the board instead. The answer from you should be the same. We have a specific policy to address your concern. So you will know that we are religiously following your policies when we take on those kind of matters, whatever it would be. And then you are always welcome to call or initiate a conversation when my officer drop by and say, tell me where we are on that. Do that and answer questions.
And I, as your chair, will try to be good about keeping you guys updated if information comes through me and it gets to the way you guys feel like you have no idea what about it. So I would try to do that.
I got one more.
Okay.
So 2 weeks ago, we held a meeting for a work session, and I was anticipating that meeting. However, I found out about it through email from someone on the board. I'm wondering how I missed the communication, or did we schedule during the previous meeting? And everybody has on the calendar and I missed it?
The meeting of the
The meeting
24th.
of the 24th.
You
You read it in the paper? Yeah. Is that how we all found out about it? I actually.
That was not my finest moment. Julie was gone, and I explained it last time at the meeting.
No,
that
just stop Julie, you never leave.
when she left this beautifully constructed, what I believe to be beginning agenda for what I thought was the November board meeting. She had it all beautifully organized, and she had it right on my round table in my office. I came into the office the day after she left, and looked at that document, and I recognized it to be the beginning, but yet to be completed packet for the November, this board meeting. In fact, it was not. It was the agenda, completely done, for the meeting of the 24th. I didn't recognize it as such, and I didn't really pick up and sit down to read it until I was ready to think about this meeting. When I picked it up, I thought, oh my goodness, it's Friday afternoon, and this packet should have been delivered to you almost a week earlier. So that's what happened. That was a breakdown in my office. So that won't happen again. I'll be better about understanding what's on my round table.
Thank you.
So.
I went out and things.
Okay, okay, well, we do not have an executive session tonight, so